Hello, everyone, and welcome to this podcast brought to you by YTI Career Institute. My name is Ann Baldwin, and I'm joined by YTI's President and CEO, Jim Bologa. And Jim, thank you for being here for another informative, brief discussion about where we're at today. You know, we're really here talking about how so many folks are so financially insecure right now because of this COVID-19 situation. Jobs have been lost. The restaurant industry has really declined if they ever come back. So much speculation and so much uncertainty out there when it comes to what's next. And that's why we wanted to talk about some of the career paths that YTI has availability and opportunity for folks of all different walks of life. You know, whether you think you're never too old to learn a new skill, a new trade, whatever your situation is. Maybe your kids are just leaving the nest, or maybe your kids are, have been at home schooling and you've been out of a job. There are other options out there. So let's talk about some of those options that are available within your programs at YTI in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, no, Ann, thanks for having me, and be excited to talk about all the programs. When I look at our schools in Pennsylvania, we have a school in Lancaster, York, and Altoona, and we offer a number of programs in the healthcare environment, and just rattle off a few of those. We've obviously got a new respiratory care technician program that just received approval for offering distance education or in blended learning. So we're very excited about that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But we do have programs in medical billing and coding, medical assisting, dental assisting, as well as health information technology. And those all of those professions right now are still in quite high demand. And again, we've talked on previous podcasts about respiratory care technicians. So if you're interested in that, I would refer folks to that podcast where we go in greater detail. And given the coronavirus, that profession right now is in quite high demand. And then with regards to skilled trades, we do have programs in HVAC, electronics, and electrical. And I would continue to suggest to folks who are listening to this podcast that those professions continue to need skilled labor. Before the coronavirus, there remains a significant shortage in skilled labor in those areas. And when you look at a lot of the governor's orders, Governor Wolf's order in Pennsylvania, and then some of the other governor's orders in throughout the Northeast. You look at how they define essential jobs,
right?
And folks that are defined as essential are folks who are HVAC technicians, or folks who are electricians, or folks who are doing any kind of electronics work. Those folks are really helping to maintain the infrastructure, if you will, that all of us live and work in, and in particular in the healthcare world. There's quite a big demand there to support the facilities and the equipment in those facilities. So I would say that those professions also will continue to be, I believe, in high demand. The other program that we do have as well is that we have a program in and around computer data management, computer security. We call it our Cdm program. That program, as well as we've got an application in to take that program online as well, and offer that program in a blended environment where a portion of the program will be done online, and a portion where you perfect your tangible hands-on skills will be done on ground. And so it's often referred to either a blended or a hybrid type delivery method. And we're very encouraged by that, given the requirements for social distancing, and just trying to maintain our safe space, if you will, as we move forward, because I do believe that as we get on the other side of the coronavirus, we're going to have to all be thinking about,
It's going to change.
yeah, it's going to change. We all have to be thinking about how do we continue to live our lives, but also manage accordingly And I firmly believe that a lot of the lecture that we've historically done in a physical classroom is going to move online, and that's a direction that we're going right now, as well as the project work and any of the simulation that we might do in some of our programs. That'll move online. So there'll be the same education, just delivered in a different format. So there's going to be a little bit of change, and I think all of us are going to have to get used to that. And then for us, we're big proponents on taking that theory that you learn, in the lecture environment and practically applying that into a industry modeled lab environment or in a clinical setting where there's direct patient care required. So, I firmly believe that that's what's going to happen moving forward. And, I'm excited about that. I mean, I think when you look at, look at our programs, around the healthcare, information technology, skilled trades, we do have programs around culinary and pastry arts,
Veterinary care?
Veterinarian care as well. So again, when you look at the vocations that we offer, I would tell you that we're all concerned about the safety and well-being of our pets. We all need to eat. So again, even though we might not be dining in a restaurant going forward, we all need a break, and we all enjoy our favorite restaurants, and as a result, I mean, we'll just be calling in or ordering online and picking up food and going from there. And and again, I think as I look at our like our CAD program and our business operations and management program and our criminal justice program, those programs as well, all have a place as well, because again, I think that as we sort of enter this new frontier, at least on the like for example on the business side and the operations side, I mean, we're going to need to have people who have those skills, to really help us redesign and re-engineer what we're doing, and obviously on the CAD side, the computer aided drafting and design, those folks are also going to be needed in terms of how we really rethink the physical spaces that we occupy.
It's going to drastically change, I'm sure.
So.
And you always pride yourself at YTI in the hands-on learning component. So while you've had to learn how to really educate students virtually as a result of COVID-19, you also then, in the next step of their hands-on learning, they will go into the real world to put what they've learned into action. And that's one of the things when I talk to businesses who have hired YTI graduates, they appreciate the fact that they know what they're doing. It's not just something that you've learned online, you've learned in a textbook, you've actually gotten to apply that knowledge to your trade.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's, for us, we listen to what, our employers are telling us about our graduates. And again, we generally are meeting with them twice a year in a formal setting. And we take their feedback seriously and their input. And, we make sure that, it's appropriate for, the position that, these students are coming out of our schools at, which are generally entry level. But, I think that, designing our labs with industry in mind, hence industry modeled labs, that goes a long way, so that when you do show up, to your first job, for example, I mean, how to operate a dental chair, or how to, the various pieces of medical equipment that you might need to,
right.
Help set up for it, for a dentist, or same goes for, so showing up to a job site and understanding how to bend, metal conduit to obviously help wire a facility, or bend sheet metal to, or understand how a piece of HVAC equipment works. So again, I think that it really goes a long way taking again the theory and then putting it in a practical application. So you really understand the why something works, and then understanding how it works in the real world,
right.
which is actually very very much appreciated by our employers.
Sure. And there's so much information on your website, from virtual tours to how to apply for financial aid. I know that you also pride yourself in student support, so there are still people that you have access to that are there to see you through the process or see you through the education. And the website is YTI.edu. That's YTI.edu. Virtual open houses You've got so much information on the programs. You've got great videos. I know there's a video about from this electrical company that hired a couple of your graduates and how happy they are, and they graduated on a Friday and we're working on a Monday. So true success stories coming out of YTI as well.
No, absolutely, and I would just encourage everybody again to go to the website yti.edu, and I would also have you be on the lookout for a number of informational webinars that we are going to be doing in the near future. So we're excited to start rolling that out, where we can share a little bit about each one of the programs that we have in within the state of Pennsylvania, or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I should say. And we're excited to try this new opportunity to share information with prospective students and their families and their support systems. And again, I would just have folks look at the website. Depending on where you're at in your decision-making process, we offer virtual tours. If you're a little bit further down the road and you're thinking that you're ready to enroll, you can always apply electronically online. And we're trying to make that process as seamless and as simple and straightforward as possible for any prospective student and their family to get through the complete admissions and enrollment process.
When I saw something online the other day, it says when all this is over and you're looking at your career path, this was aimed at like high school graduates, look at who's still working today.
No, absolutely. I think it's really quite interesting. I mean, I think if you look at Governor Wolf, some of his governor executive orders, and even looking at some of the other governors' executive orders throughout the Northeast, it's interesting how they're defining essential workers, and those essential workers are generally folks in the healthcare profession, programs that we offer, folks in the information technology sector, again, programs that we offer, folks in the skilled trades area, programs that we offer. And so again, I think that folks really need to take a look at that, because those are the professions that really help keep our country running day in, day out, even in the face of a pandemic.
Absolutely. Well, Jim Bologa, President and CEO of YTI Career Institute, another great conversation. And whether, again, you're graduating from high school, college, maybe you're a parent of a young person and you're looking at options for that individual, these are all some great things to explore. Again, the website is yti.edu, and we want to thank you for listening to this podcast.